Hello. If you're here, say something so I'll know you're here. Thank you for joining my live stream. Just give it a few minutes. It's a few minutes before 6, so giving time for people to get on. Hey, welcome for joining. Thank you. We're going to get started at about 6 o'clock, so let me know you're here. Type it in the chat. Let me know your name so I'll know who you are. Well, welcome. Type in the chat and let me know who you are so I know your name. All right, give me just a second and we're going to start in a minute here. Sorry, guys, I'm having a difficulty here, so bear with me before we get started. Okay. All right. I think we got it together now. Hopefully, fingers crossed. All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to my first live stream. And I am sorry, I did not know the lighting was this bad in here. It's raining really hard, or was raining a little bit earlier. So I didn't go up to my business. So I'm trying to do this in my house, but I didn't realize that the lighting was so bad. So just bear with me for this live stream. I hope you can still somewhat see me okay. But thank you for joining. So this live stream is all about client consultations, like the consultation part, the whole like human client experience type thing. So I wanted to just talk about that because like the consultation, in my opinion, is the most important part of your facial or any service that you do. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're doing lash extensions, whatever it is, like the consultation is really, really important because it's the time where you get to meet your client. And sometimes, in most cases, you're meeting your client for the first time. So you have to be really comfortable with doing your consultations and really like make a good first impression on your clients. Like that is so important. So just to introduce myself, my name is Janice. So I am a spa owner. So I've owned my spa for about 5 years, almost 5 years now at this point. I also own a skincare line and I do business coaching. So that's what this is, my beauty business boss business is. So I do, you know, quite a bit. I could do a couple different things. So I have, you know, experience in the spa industry and, you know, experience with primarily doing facials. So that's kind of my thing. So I really want to talk to you guys about the process and, you know, how to build relationships and how to really keep your clients coming back like over and over again. So if you're joining, thank you for joining. Like, please type in the chat, like, let me know, you know, what your name is, who you are and everything so I can see. If you like, grab you a drink because I have one. It's 6 o'clock here. So sometimes you need that. So, hey, hey, D. So, yep, let me know who you are, where you're from, and then we can kind of get to talking. So I am drinking, girl, I love my Stella Rosa. I got my whole line here. The blueberry, girl, I'm a Stella Rosa freak. So if you you need to check out the blueberry. So get you something. Yes, I love that one. I love it. So how are you? Let me know how you're doing. And everyone else type in the chat so I know like who you are so I can get to know who jumped on my live here. But yes, but if you're not doing consultations, hey, is it Tamira? Nice to meet you, Tamira. Let me know what you're drinking on, if you're drinking on something for happy hour. But thank you for joining my live stream. But a lot of people sleep on doing consultations. So it's so important because it'll set the tone for your whole, are you coming to my event set? What event? You didn't tell me about an event. Hey, Joni. See, you got to let me know because I don't even know which event. Send me the information. Drinking vodka and cherry Coke. Good job. But yeah, but consultations, like, I don't know if, you know, tell me if you struggle with, okay, thank good. Text it to me. Like, tell me if you struggle, like if you're doing, you know, consultations now, if there's a struggle that you have, or maybe it's a confidence thing. You don't know what type of questions to ask. Like, what is it, you know, that you are struggling with, or what is it that you need help with in your consultations? Because once you get more comfortable doing your consultations, it's going to make a world of difference in your appointments. So like the way that I see it is your consultation is going to be like your first physical point of contact with your clients. You know, they might see you on social media. They might visit your website. You might send out some kind of communication to them. But this is the first time that they're going to physically see you. Sorry, someone has a Oh, that was you texting me. Okay, thank you. So this is the first time that they're actually going to physically see you. So you want to make sure you have a good impression. So I have different tips and things to kind of help you with that, help you through that process and help you get comfortable with your consultations. So I introduced myself, told you a little bit about me. Is there any way during the consultation to determine if someone's acne is hormonal? Are there certain questions to ask, or can you only determine from doing a skin analysis? No, that's a good question. There are a couple questions you can ask during the consultation. So when you think of hormonal, think of anything that affects your hormones. So any some of the main culprits are any birth control that they're taking, because that affects their hormones. Sometimes hormone fluctuations, are genetic, but it could be that, it could be stress. So I ask, how stressed are you? Sometimes people will tell you, if they work a lot, if they started a new job, or something like that. It could be related to that. Also, if you can tell sometimes if it is hormonal, if it's kind of in this area, like around the jawline, then that could be the case too. Also with dairy related things, it's said that dairy is related, to your hormones. Because of the hormones in dairy, it can, affect the way that acne presents itself on the face. So eating a lot of dairy is one of the worst things that you could do for acne. So yes, you can definitely ask those type of questions. And you have to, when you're talking to your client during the consultation, you do have to ask them these questions, and then also tell them to make the changes in your life. So, if you think dairy might be the culprit, okay, maybe stop eating dairy for a week or so and see how that affects, your acne. So sometimes they have to, actually do the work too, to see if, that's the actual culprit in it. But so things like that are what you want to get like really into detail about when you're doing your consultation, because it's going to make a huge difference between someone who is just, doing a facial. Maybe if you want to specialize, just in relaxing facials, just kind of like the pampering, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to have more like results driven facials and like have your clients actually see like long lasting changes, you want to get into the habit of asking those deeper questions, because what we do is not just on a surface level. We don't just want to affect the client's skin on the surface. We want to go a little bit deeper into, the way their body works, the way their medical conditions are affecting them, and all of these different things. So there's tons of things that go into it. So first, I want to talk about kind of how you get like started for or kind of get set up for your consultation. So the first thing you want to do is make sure like your space is inviting. So look at your space like from a client point of view. Like, what does it look like? Because a lot of times that right there could set the tone. If this is the first person, this is your first impression, make sure your space is kind of open and inviting. Like, look at it from a client point of view. Is everything neat? Is everything in order? Is it inviting? How are you greeting the client? Like when they come in, like using their first name, like talking to them, kind of being a little conversational. All those things kind of help to set the tone, especially if this is a first time client, they don't know you, you want to make them feel comfortable. So do you recommend to do the consultation as a separate appointment prior to their facial appointment, or is it all in one session? I personally do a separate appointment. So the way I do it is before my client even comes in for their first facial, I have like a 45-minute consultation where I'm going over everything. Like I have my consultation form. I'm asking them questions. Now, some of it I do online beforehand, because that does save a little bit of time. But then I ask them the additional questions when they come in. So we're going over everything. And then I also do a mini facial. So I'll do, get them on the bed, do my skin analysis, go over all of that stuff. And then I want to get them on products after that. So I want you to use my products and everything before I even do your facial, because a lot of times people will have, an impaired skin barrier, they'll have like tons of inflammation or just really, really sensitized skin. And I want to get them on a good product regimen first before we even do facials. So you can do that route. But there's also tons of people who do it, just have them come in like 15 minutes early for their appointment, or build like that 15 minutes into it and just do it that way. So that's So that's kind of up to you. It just depends on like how in depth you want to go with your consultations. So figure out kind of what works for you. All right, so I got my notes here because I don't want to forget anything. So we say like set the tone for the appointment. That's very important. So look at it from a client point of view, and what would your client, if you are your client, would you feel comfortable coming into your space for an appointment? The second thing you want to do is make sure you're prepared. So if you're going to do a paper consultation form, have it ready. Like have a clipboard, have the form ready, have everything, ready to go while they're there. Also, additionally, you could have like any type of brochures, any type of pictures, before and afters, anything that might help your client kind of understand the material. So like when we're doing facials, like we're going over a lot of information, and sometimes that information might go over our client's head. So you want to have any type of like supporting documents or anything like that will help them to better understand what we're doing or what we're talking about. So be as prepared as possible. And then make sure you are explaining everything in detail. Like in a sense, like dumb it down. You want to make sure that they actually understand, because, as professionals, we know what we're talking about, and we tend to like talk over people's heads sometimes. So you really don't want to take for granted or assume that a client just knows exactly what you're talking about. So really take your time and explain like every single detail of what it is, whatever service that you're doing. I talk about facials because that's the biggest thing, but you can apply this to like lash extensions, to a waxing consultation, anything else like that. But whatever it is that you're doing, don't take for granted or just assume that they actually know what exactly you're talking about. So take your time and be detailed and explain everything. The next thing I'm gonna say is shut up and listen. So as professionals, we tend to because I said we know what we're talking about. So we will sit here and, as soon as the client says something like, okay, the client comes to you and they say, I only use water on my face. We know in our heads, as being estheticians, that's a no-no. You only using water on your face is probably why you're having all these different skin issues. So, but it is not our job to jump in and correct our client every single time that they say something during the consultation that, we think is bad. So that's your time to listen. You want to practice active listening, because I have clients that come in and they say, they're only using water on their face. They have acne, so they're using this harsh medication from the dermatologist. They go out in the sun a lot. So they're saying all of these different things. I'm not going to attack my client each time they say something that I know is bad. Again, remember, you're making a first impression on your clients. Like, they don't know you yet. They don't know who you are. So if you are, just kind of attacking every single thing they're doing and telling them that they're doing it wrong, that might put your client on the defensive. So what I do is I'm, making notes. I'm talking to them. I'm listening. So if they say, for the example, I only use water on my face, I say, okay, so you just use water on your face. Do you do that like morning and night? Okay, I'm writing it down. But then I still go through a list of products that say, okay, so is there anything else that you could think of that you might be using? Are you using any toner, any moisturizer? I still go down and list the products, because sometimes they may be like, oh yeah, I do use this serum or whatever, maybe that they forgot about. And I'm like, oh, okay. So do you use that morning and night? Like, so, still writing it down, because you don't want to make your client feel dumb, first of all. And second of all, you want to get time to build the relationship, because you're going to completely turn them off if you're just, jumping in and kind of correcting or down talking everything they're doing. So just listen, repeat back what they say, and save your recommendations and all that extra stuff until the end of the appointment, once you kind of like built up that relationship a little bit and kind of built up their trust. So be knowledgeable is another one. Oh, it's another one. Yes, I've had a few clients that while getting their facial tell me how pointless facials are because they only use water and their face is clear. How to use, yep, girl, hear that all the time. Like people think that just because they don't have breakouts that they have good skin. And that is the biggest myth. So when they do say that, if they're telling me that like during the consultation, I'll just say, okay, so that's good that you have clear skin. But then I save like my I guess, my criticism for when I do the skin analysis. So I say, okay, we're going to come in, lay down, I'm going to cleanse your face, and then I'm going to look in detail at what is going on with your skin. So that's when I crack down on everything during the skin analysis. So I say, I'm kind of feeling their face. If they are only using water on their face is going to feel dehydrated. Their skin texture is going to be a mess. You're going to be able to tell how sensitized it is. So I'll feel around on their face, even though I already know in my head from the consultation that their skin is probably messed up. I'll kind of feel around. I say, okay, so your skin is feeling just a little bit dehydrated. And I know that you told me that you don't drink a lot of water and you only use just water on your face. So when you're only using water on your face and no other products, you're actually not doing anything to support your natural skin barrier. Then I explained, what the skin barrier is. So I know that you told me that you have clear skin, but you do have clear skin as far as no blemishes, but we really want to work on your skin barrier and getting your skin to a healthy state. And then I just kind of go through everything else. So I just let them know that that based on my analysis and based on like my professional analysis, this is the actual, like the true state of their skin. Now, if you're talking to someone, let's say, just maybe out somewhere who doesn't have facial, I just explain it. I just kind of, not the whole part of it, but I just explain it like, not having breakouts isn't a sign of good, healthy skin. So I would like to, take a look at you and see, what the real state of your skin is if you get into my spa. The only thing is some people you can't fight with, unfortunately. Like everyone doesn't want to be educated, I guess. And it's not, in my opinion, like it's not our job to try to please everyone or try to, convince everyone. So I would just like give them your information and say, I specialize in skin. Like I really can look, in depth or in detail at your skin and kind of tell you how to enhance it. Because even people who do have good skin, like people who maybe get facials regularly and take care of their skin, there's still always room for improvement. And there's also room to prevent treatment because aging sneaks up on us. So you can also prevent, those signs of aging. So that's usually what I tell people. I hope that answered your question. But so the next part of kind of your consultation or getting comfortable with them is to be knowledgeable. Being knowledgeable is huge. And what I mean by being knowledgeable is knowing exactly what you need to know about the products and services that you offer. Because some estheticians, I've seen this, like, in different groups and things like that. They want to offer facials, but they don't take the time to educate themselves or really understand what's going on with the skin or even understand the products that they're using. So knowing your products, getting very, very familiar with them and very comfortable with them is going to go a very long way in making sure that you're boosting your confidence. So I can give you an example. So the very first skincare line that I started off with was Skin Script. For those of you who know me, I talk about Skin Script all the time. But I wanted to move to a different skincare line. So I started using Circadia skincare. That was a complete transition for me because Circadia has a ton of different products and I had to get used to every single one of them. I had to learn every single one of them. So in the beginning, it was a little harder for me to recommend because I didn't have all the products in my head. But once I, started kind of reading it, they have tons of education and everything. So after I started reading over and over again, and I noticed it was easier for me to recommend client products, even to my regular clients, because I was more confident. So you'll notice how much easier it is and how much more confident you are when speaking to your clients if you are very knowledgeable about your products. So hopefully if you're doing facials, you are using a professional skincare line. And, they offer education, they have marketing materials, hopefully they have books, all of these different things to help you get familiar with them. And then not just the products, the treatments also. So if you're doing, dermaplaning, you should be comfortable with doing dermaplaning, and you should also be comfortable educating your clients and telling them when they need it. And then also when they don't need it, because everyone is not a candidate, for every service. So it's up to us to understand that, like how our products and all that stuff works. So are there any other brands you recommend? So those are the two that I pretty much use. I can tell you some that you said beginner friendly. Oh, that was going to knock out one of my recommendations. Skin Script is really the best beginner friendly brand. I'll just put some here Is this easier so you'll know how to spell it? There is this one brand that I have been wanting to try. I just don't want to get into another skincare line, but I hear like so many good things. Another esthetician I know around here uses them. It's Glymed Plus. Also 2L. This brand 2L, I use their cleansing oils. I still actually use those every once in a while, but they have really good like deep cleansing oils that you use at the beginning of a facial. So I like their products. I know there's more. I just have to think of them off the top of my head. To be honest, for beginner friendly, Skin Script is probably going to be the best because it's the most versatile and it has like such a wide range of products for everything. The only thing, as much as I love Skin Script, the only thing that I had about them and kind of why I switched is I felt like their products were not strong enough for certain skin conditions. Like I wanted something that was more tailored for like hyperpigmentation and aging and things like that. And that's what Circadia does. So that's why I like using Circadia. If I think of more, I know there's some more that I can think of, and I'll kind of type them in the chat as I think about it. But yes, do your research. Like you should go back and watch the video that I have. I just uploaded a couple weeks ago on how to pick a product line. So like I kind of talk about like how to compare different product lines, like what to look for in different product lines, so you can kind of know, how to do your research on those. So I posted, that's the latest video that I have posted. Should we only use professional products, or are there some high-end brands that are acceptable? In my opinion, we need to set ourselves apart as professionals. Like you should be using professional products for a couple different reasons. One, because in general, professional products are going to have better active ingredients in it. So active ingredients are the ingredients that actually do what they say they're supposed to do. And the reason why I say in general, because we don't want to just assume that just because something is more expensive or just because something is only sold to professionals, it's automatically good. And that's not the case. That's where you do your research and all that stuff. But in general, professional products are more active and better than products that you find in the drugstore. Another thing is because with professional products, you'll also get professional pricing. So if you've heard anything about wholesale pricing, like let's use an example. Like if you buy a toner, let's say a toner that you're going to buy is $20. That's the retail value of that toner. If you go on their website and sign up as a professional, you'll see that they have wholesale pricing, which the wholesale pricing is usually half of whatever that retail pricing is. So you as a professional would buy that product at $10 so that you could sell it at $20 and make a profit. So when you're buying something with professionally, it's going to be a cheaper price, or you'll get the professional pricing versus paying full price for something. Also, for me, with clients, if you're using products that clients can just buy in the store, there's no benefit to having us as an esthetician, because products that you can buy in the store are not going to have the professional like back bar products that we need. So when you're thinking about facials, you're thinking about not only just using like cleansers, the serums, the toners and all that, but the professional, exfoliating products that they can't just buy anywhere. The other professional like tools, different professional things. So it's not really benefiting them if a professional is using just products that you can just buy anywhere. Also, professional brands have professional education. So when you look at Skin Script, Circadia, Glymed, all these different professional brands, because they tailor to professionals, they are going to have professional education. So they're going to have webinars, videos, educational booklets. They're going to give you education and information on every single product that they have. So that's because they want professionals to learn and, grow their education. You're not going to get that just from something that you buy, in the store. So definitely I would only use professional products. Like set yourself apart, put that license to use, basically. Use those professional products. Also, so yes, So being knowledgeable about your products, also testing your products too, like test your products on yourself or give them to other people to use. So you know that they work. Like don't use something that, you're not comfortable with or that you haven't really seen results yet with, because if you are excited about a product, you used it, it works, then it's easier for you to recommend it to your clients. So definitely do that. And then also make sure you are retailing your product. So because being knowledgeable also goes in with retail. So when you're confident about them, it's easier for you to talk to your clients and, use what you learned in the consultation to retail. And then also, so let's talk about retailing a lot, because people don't, usually retail products. But when you're doing your consultation, you're going through asking all these different questions, you're using your skin analysis. And then at the end of the facial, you need to make recommendations, because, after they do their facial, you don't want to just say, okay, we did your facial, thanks a lot. Hope you rebook with me. Like, no, you have to sit down with them. And then this is your time to make those recommendations. So you're going to take everything you learned in the consultation, everything you learned in the skin analysis, and you're going to kind of put it together and give your clients a treatment plan. So you're going to say, this is what I recommend for home care. So basically during the consultation, you told me that you are really concerned about this pigmentation. You have, the dark spots everywhere. So I have this dark spot serum that will be perfect for you. That's going to help lighten your hyperpigmentation over time. So always relate the retail product back to what they told you their concern was in the consultation, and go through and do that for every single product. Also, you want to talk about your treatments. So your treatments, your treatments are a big part of their facial. So home care is about 80% of the results that they're going to receive, and then the treatments are at about 20%. So you want to talk to them and explain to them why. So this is why they need to know, okay, you need a professional esthetician, because these are, treatments and products and modalities that I use that you cannot get at home. Also your expertise. So anyone can, probably buy what they think is like a dermaplaning tool somewhere, or anyone can buy, this exfoliator, but they 9 times out of 10 don't know how to actually use it properly. So that's where our education and expertise comes in, because we can say, I'm going to, do these treatments. This is why this treatment is good for you, blah, blah, blah. It's going to do this, this, and that, and really explain to them why they need that professional treatment versus only just needing to use the products. So you're going to put a whole plan together for them based on what you learn. So it's really important to be kind of, knowledgeable about, all of your products and services, and get comfortable with actually talking to your clients and recommending it to them. So let's see. So let's talk about some different questions that you could actually ask in the consultation process. So the main things that I like to ask are what is your goal? So like, what brought you here today? That's usually the first thing, because you want to make sure that you're taking care of whatever your client's issue is. So they came to a professional for a reason. Like maybe they tried tons of different products that never worked. They spent all this money, like they have a problem. And as business owners, our goal is to solve their problem. So you have to figure out exactly what it is and why they're there. So what is your goal? What did you come here today? So they'll have a good idea. So you'll have a good idea of exactly what you need to do to help. And then another question I like to ask is, what is preventing you from reaching that goal? So let's say they say that their goal is to clear up their acne. What's preventing you from reaching their goal? Maybe it's that they are not consistent with their home care, or maybe that they know they have a bad diet. Maybe they know that goes into treating their acne, and they're, having issues treating, actually clearing up their diet. So knowing that information should help you when you're making your recommendations. So if they say that they're not consistent with a home care routine, maybe you're not going to give them a whole huge home care routine to start off with. Maybe you're just going to give them, just a couple products, and then kind of slowly work them up. Like explain the importance of having a whole routine, but kind of build them up and work them up to using more products and everything. So know like what is their roadblock and what is actually preventing them from, reaching their goal. And that'll go a long way when you're kind of giving them those recommendations. You should also be asking what skincare products they're currently using, because they might be using products, that are decent. You don't always need to switch out every single product that someone is using. Look at what they're using. Maybe they're using like a decent serum, or maybe they're already using a serum or something like that from another, good skincare line. Maybe just switch out, a couple other products in there that you could use to supplement that until you can get them switched over to their whole routine, to switch over to your whole routine. So don't just go in again, like attacking everything that they're using. See what they're using, kind of see what kind of gaps you could fill. And then be comfortable too with talking to your clients about skincare products too. So like be familiar with some of the more popular skincare items on the market, so you can talk to them and say, okay, that's not a bad product. Or, maybe look at the ingredients and say, okay, maybe this is something that, is not so good for you. So really be able to communicate that. One thing I do is I do have my clients go through and I ask them to bring in their skincare line or whatever skincare products they're using. And so we can kind of go through them. So I'll know like what they already have and kind of have an idea of what they're using. What do you like and dislike about your products? So that's important, because you want to know, maybe they are happy with what they're using. Maybe they like what they're using. But again, that kind of goes into being comfortable with talking about products and, kind of knowing how to read ingredient labels, read ingredients and things like that, so that you could help them like weed out products that are not, not so great for them. Have you had a facial before? It's important to know what type of treatments they have. I would also recommend asking when was their last facial treatment, because you might have someone who got a chemical peel last week, and for whatever reason they're a spa hopper and trying to come around to different spas. So you need to know, like, okay, if they had an invasive treatment, like, first of all, why are you here? And second of all, you want to know like how that treatment actually went. So it's important to ask those questions. And then too, you can know how comfortable they are with doing facials. Maybe ask, why did they switch from the person that they were going to, or what made them switch over to you. So you can kind of gauge what their comfort level is and see, how much detail you need to go in or how much you need to explain. Some other questions that you want to ask is, the standard questions about medical conditions. Medical conditions affect our skin in a lot of different ways. So you want to know if they have anything internally. And also you want to know if anything will be a contraindication for the treatments that you're doing. You want to know if there's any topical medications, so like any dermatologist prescribed medications that they're taking. So you can ask if they've been to a dermatologist recently or if they are currently using anything, because as we know, that sensitizes your skin a lot. So definitely get into the habit of asking that. You also want to ask, let me see. You want to ask things about like their lifestyle also. So are they a smoker? Are they a drinker? Those things are very huge, especially for clients who want to prevent signs of aging. Like things like that are huge. You do want to ask about their diet. Are they eating a balanced diet? Are they drinking a lot of water? Drinking a lot of water is one of the foundations for having healthy skin. So it's very important to drink, the recommended amount of water. Caffeine, you want to know, do they drink a lot of coffee? Do they drink a lot of tea? Those things are very important for our overall health. So you need to know how that affects the skin. So get as detailed as possible. And I know this is a lot of information, but this is going to really help you to become a better esthetician. And also it's important for you to study and educate yourself. So if you don't know some of these things, or like, if you don't know how drinking water affects the body, or you don't know, how these medications affect the body, please, educate yourself. Like get in these, esthetician groups, go on Google, please check the source before you're going on Google, but, research, the body, the different systems of the body, the layers of the skin, the anatomy of the skin, and all this other stuff. So you really make sure that you are in a good position to educate your clients as much as possible. All right. So I think that's all that I have for you in the consultation process. So let me know, like, what other questions do you have? Like, I'll give it a second if you want to ask any questions or type anything in the chat. You can definitely do that. Now, I do also have a document that I'm going to upload. I already made the description for this video, but I'm going to go back and edit it because I'm going to add in, like, I actually have a downloadable document that has this information in it too. Also, I do have a consultation template bundle. So if you are struggling trying to put together your own consultation, your skin analysis, a treatment plan, all the other stuff, I actually have that all typed up in a bundle. So for those documents, so it's the consultation document, the skin analysis document, a treatment plan document, and emails, like email templates to send to your clients for communication, because this all goes in like with the client experience. So I'm going to put that link in the description box too. So if you wanted to purchase that bundle, it's just $14.99. So you have the documents all put together. You don't have to think about it. It'll already be right there for you. So I try to make it as easy as possible. But yeah, so I'll put all of that. I'll update the description. Give me about 5 minutes after this live ends, and I'll update the description and put all that information in there. I'm also going to put a link to my questionnaire for coaching calls, because I do coaching calls as well. So if you want to fill out that questionnaire, it'll send me over some information, and so I can know more about you. Maybe we could set up a free discovery call or something like that. If you have any questions about anything business related, anything related to just estheticians, you want to go into more detail on consultations, you want to talk, then we can do that. So I will update it in a few minutes and give all of that information. So thank you guys for joining. I hope that you like it. Like I said, if you do have any other questions or anything, you can feel free to message me. I'll put all my information in the description box for you. So yeah, thank you for joining me on my first live. I plan to do more. So if you do have any suggestions too for any other lives that you'd like, I would definitely like to do more lives in the future. Let me know what type of content, what type of live videos you want to see, and I will definitely do that. So, well, thank you guys for joining, and I will talk to you later.